What's up, boys? It's your boy, Commissioner Dahlhair here, reporting to you live Wednesday, September 27th, 2017. Coming to you after this exciting week 3 of football that happened. Unfortunately, I was at work, but Thursday night we were treated to an exciting game between San Fran and St. Louis. Nobody would have ever thought that, it was going to be a fucking shootout. But that was nice. I don't know if any of you guys really watched it, but it was exciting at least. Jared Goff going off. Hoyer doing pretty solid as well. But then the craziness just started right from 9:30 Sunday morning with fucking the Jags just fucking destroying the Ravens. Like, what the fuck? I think literally probably every fucking thing that you looked at had Baltimore as the number one defense stream last week against the Jags. And we know how that ended, -5 points, 44 points allowed. Then the craziness continued, Tampa Bay versus friggin' Minnesota. Sam Bradford ruled out. Tampa Bay, this is going to be a cakewalk game for him now. And fucking Casey Keenum comes out and fucking lights tits. I seen a thing on Roto-World saying who knew that last year in St. Louis, Jeff Fisher had the quarterback battle between the two best quarterbacks in the league, between Case Keenum and Jared Goff. Obviously, there's some sarcasm involved there, but pretty funny regardless. Insanity continued with Bills showing up big at home against Denver. Then, the Packers game was fucking wild. Fucking Giants game was wild. Fucking 61-yard field goal for the Eagles. There you go, Zoe, to win the game. And then right to the Sunday night game, nobody's seen Washington just dominate in Oakland like that. Fucking Oakland offense was terrible. Cooper had one catch for 6 yards, and Crabtree had 1 for 7. Like, what the hell? Was Norman fucking clone himself and was covering them both all night? And then Monday night was an exciting game, at least for me, watching my boys go off and, propelling me to winning the week with my 238 points. So finally, one of us knocked Bob off, the winning the week pedestal. Proud to say it was myself. Unfortunately, Log wasn't able to do double duty and help us all out and pull out the dub. Man, I was rooting for you, Log, no doubt. No offense, Bob, but it would have been good to see you drop one there. I knew it was going to be tough having the defense get 9 points because, like I mentioned in the group chat, this was not a good week for defenses by any means. I guess we'll start with Bob and Log's matchup, since that was the closest one. Closest matchup of the week. Two high scoring teams. Bob improving to 3-0, Log falling to 0-3 again with some shit luck, like he was mentioning, between last year and this year. Just having bad luck, doing good in points and not getting dubs. Bob's team was led by none other than Kareem Hunt, 33 fucking points yet again. This dude is a fucking animal. It's fun to watch, to be honest. 33 points, 17 carries for 172 yards, 69-yard touchdown. Nice. And he's just unbelievable so far. Quarterbacks did their thing. A-Rod 32, Drew Brees 27. Tymon, a little bit of a down game for us this week, only 12 points, 30 yards on the ground, 8 catches, but only 15 friggin' yards. But Bob finally got some production out of the receivers. Garcon 24, Richard Matthews 23, Deshaun 18, picking up the slack with Kelsey, Ajayi, and Walker Delaney not doing much of anything. Kelsey 1 point, Ajayi 3 versus the Jets. I'm talking about the insanity of the week. How about that insanity? The fucking Jets pulling out the dub over the Dolphins. I was talking to Tom on Saturday. We were talking about, shit and whatever, talking about daily sports. Because he does some of it and this and that. And I was like, hey, this week it's easy. Just play all your Dolphins. And he goes, yeah, I hope so. He goes, I'm going to be at the game with my brother. Blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I get a call from my sister Sunday about 8 p.m. I'm like, what's up? She's like, Tom wants to talk to you. He's fucking shit-faced. I got to call Pat Cruz. I got to call my brother-in-law. He said it was the worst day in history of sports. Almost in his family. Between the Dolphins getting shit on. Not even moving the ball. Not that they lost. They got shit on by the Jets and they couldn't even move the ball. And then they do their fucking Survivor League thing, that they won like 50 grand on a couple years ago, and they had the Packers in one of those leagues, so he was shitting his pants, and then they had the Dolphins in another one, so it was a double whammy. But damn, Wang, the Jets are so bad that they can't even suck when they're openly sucking. It's unbelievable, but I guess that's the Jay Cutler effect. But so Bob puts up 198, and that's with Sterling Shepard, 32 on the bench. Tevin Coleman, 11. Not that you probably would play him, maybe over Delaney or something, I don't know. But Log coming up just a little bit short with 190, led by Russell Wilson, 42 points. Threw for 370 and 4 touches against the Titans in their valiant comeback attempt that came up short. Good to see him finally, seeing them, throwing the rock. Dougie B, finally, 15 targets this week after he had, I think, 12 or 13 combined the first 2 weeks. So that was good to see. And then, of course, he goes and hurts his groin. But regardless, Russell Wilson showed up. Next, Chris Thompson putting up 33. Oh, man. So Log would have won if he fucking busted that screen for a touchdown. I think he got tackled at 1 or 2. Shit, that would have been the touchdown plus the bonus. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Damn, that's tough luck. Jordy Nelson, 23 points. This dude, man, as long as he's on the field with A-Rod, we got a shot. Doesn't matter what else is going on around the Packers. This dude is just clutch beyond belief. 23 points. Then, 13 out of Shady, not a bad day, not a great day. 17 from Stafford, 15 DT, 14 from Thielen. 0 out your defense, man. We were, saying that was going to be the determiner. Obviously, 10 out of McAnus. Austin Hooper, though, man, another bummer, 1 point. Hey, it's more than I got, though, out of my tight end, so I can't really say much. Because they all suck, like I mentioned. Unfortunately, Bob comes away with the win, 3-0, Log 0-3. Next, we'll take a look. We'll look at. Let's see here. Let's look at the Cocksucker Award, Mr. Michael King. Losing to Johnny, 158 to 117. Johnny just keeps on fucking winning. He's just got these magical fucking powers around him right now that doesn't matter what his team does or who's he playing. He's just, only putting up 158. But hey, you know what? The fancy gods are looking over him. He's gonna play King this week with 117, as Bob alluded to. He got 1 from Rudolph, 1 from Macklin, 3 from Doyle, -1 from his D, 2 from a running back, 3 from a running back. Oof. He had 2 9s. And then 4 guys in double digits. B. Marsh with 14. He's alive. Carson Wentz with 15. Jameis with 21. And then T.Y. finally going off with Jacoby Biscuit throwing him the rock. 7 for 153 and a touch. 34 points for good old T. Wizzle. But man, Man, oh man, King's team is in shambles. And on top of it, his fucking kicker goes on the IR. Except for now he picked up the number one kicker, but erroneous. Johnny, 158 points, with a third of those points coming from none other than Tim Brody. 50 fucking 1 points from this maniac. Yet another crazy game, thrilling game down over there in Foxborough against the rookie quarterback. Brody goes for 378, 5 touches, 51 points, unbelievable. You got 51 from him, 24 from Carlos Hyde in that exciting Thursday night game, 22 from Gronk, 15 from his D, and that's about it. That's Johnny's team this week. Scam Newton 7, Alshon 9, Decker 8. This dude, Johnny's like, you know what, King sucks so bad, I'm going to play Randall Cobb even though he's not playing today. 0. Mike Wallace 1, Gillespie 3, Witten 1. Bortles on the bench with 34. Might be plugging him in because Cam looks terrible. But anyway, Johnny moves to 3-0. King moves to Logan territory, 0-3. Man, I wish I could say things are going to get better from here, King, but I don't know if they are. Johnny, your luck's going to run out at some point. I think I play you week 5. That might be when your luck runs out. We'll take a look here. We got battle in the Brown division. C-Cups make my Zohar versus Magic Mike. Zoe pulls out a good win, 199 to 150. Solid showing from the Brohan. 26 Mariota. High score 37 Brandon Cooks. After having 16 points in the first 2 weeks, puts up 37 fucking burger, 5 for 130 and 2 touches. Jumps all the way up to number 5 overall receiver on the year. Good showing there from Cooks finally. That's why you picked him at number 19 overall for those big games like that, but you still would have won regardless of his production this week. So hopefully he can be, come through in the clutch for you. Devontae Parker, good game with 21. He scored right at the end of the game. Golden Taint, 18. Le'Veon finally showing some life, 21. He had 19 combined coming into the week. Still isn't running good, but, 60 yards and a touchdown, another 9 points through the air, that'll do it. Cooper Kupp, though, brother, I think you played him the past 2 weeks. He's only got 9 points combined in that time frame. So I hope he was a trendy pick, looked good week 1. We'll see what happens in the future with Cooper C. Cups. But the story of Brohan's team is the bench, no doubt. 120 points sitting there on the bench, led by none other than his second-round pick, Jordan Howard. I believe that's his second-round pick. Third-round pick because Cooks was his second. Jordan Howard, 36 points. There's not much really to say besides, what the fuck. They had the thing on Roto World today I was reading. They dedicated literally an entire article last week to Jordan Howard and DeMarco Murray downfall. What happens? They both go out and fucking blow up. 36 points. Rain Man on the bench. Eli, 33. And Dookie Johnson with 22. So Zoe's got some depth there, that's going to be useful with the bye weeks coming up quick here. Magic Mike follows up his first win with the disappointing loss here. Poor showing from a couple key guys. Michael Crabtree, only 1 point, as I mentioned earlier, 7 yards after his 3-touchdown extravaganza last week. And then Calvin Benjamin, 2 points. He got hurt, as did Crabtree. Tyler Lockett, 5. Jesse James, 3. Good to see Odell back doing his thing now. 28 points. His touchdowns were nice. That bobbling, one-handed fucking tuck thing, that was quite the grab there. Fournette keeps continuing to do his thing, 16. Ezekiel, 18. Matty Ice, only 18. Threw 3 picks for the first time in a while. Roethlisberger, 15. Came up short, though. Falls to 1 and 2. So, the good news is I think that their division... Yeah, you got a couple 1 and 2s, 2 and 1s. There's some, some movement can be made there. Next matchup we'll look at here. Another battle of the brown guys. Not a real brown guy, but a half brown one in George. We got Hop on My Riddick versus George. Just flaccid Abdullah. I'm sure he's real flaccid after this demoralizing defeat at the hands of Wang, who also improves to 3-0. And George also falls to 0-3. We just got we got guys up here, and we got guys down here. George quarterback situation, a very interesting one. Kirk Cousins goes off for 37. What about his other one? Joe Flacco, -3. Unbelievable. 28 yards passing by an NFL quarterback. A Super Bowl MVP quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. Just unbelievable. 21 from Mike Thomas is good. Glad to finally see him, put up some big-time numbers there. Sammy Watkins, 31. He looked good on Thursday night. That was some good dividends there. Jermaine Kearse's hot streak did not continue. He only had 7. George, another case of the bad luck defense, -1 from the Bucks. Mike Evans solid with 13. Keenan Allen solid with 11. Jimmy Graham solid with 14. But all in all, 153, that shit ain't going to cut it for dubs in this league unless you're Johnson. And you just play King frequently. On the flip side, though, Wang improves to 3-0. Led by none other than Todd fucking Gurley. I know we made the pick and we were all making fun of him. And rightfully so, because he has not been good the past year and a half. And why the fuck isn't my internet working good? Hold on a second. But I think as we stand, Gurley is the number 2. Let's see. Oh, the fucking thing did work for a second. Come on, you fucking piece of shit. Number 2 or number 3 running back, Todd Gurley. 41 fucking points against San Fran. This dude's got 6 touchdowns already this year. That's as much as he had all last year. Then next high score for Wang. Antonio Brown doing Antonio Brown things, 30 points. This dude's just a machine. He had the down week 2, still had 12, 13 points, something like that. Hopkins, 14. Jared Cook, 14. Jamison Crowder finally showing a little bit of life, 11. And Dalton, you're sticking with him. I told you to go get McCoon. You stuck with Dalton and his 3 points or whatever he had through 2 weeks. And he rewarded you with 20. Like I said in the preview last week, playing the Packers, you knew he was going to right the ship, unfortunately. Tyrod, 21 as well. My big takeaway, though, I'm looking at here is Amari Cooper, 1 point. And this just isn't, Crabtree had the down game as well. They just had an off night. I think right now Cooper is 57th overall wide receiver. I can't tell you for sure because my fucking internet's being a piece of shit. And I'm just looking at this fucking box right here. When I try and click on shit, and it won't fucking load the numbers. So that's quite annoying. Too much porn, apparently. Fuck. So, I guess the Cooper pick kind of balances out the Todd Gurley pick. Swinging Wings, kind of makes up for Cooper being a dud and a half so far. But Wang improving to 3-0, 181 points. Team's looking pretty good. We'll see what happens, with Andrew Luck if he's ever gonna come back, because I don't know if a team with Andy Dalton and Tyrod Taylor is gonna win the ship. I don't think the rest of your team is that great to be able to carry those two, but I could be wrong. But that's just my 2 cents in the matter. Let's see here. I think that's going on to the last matchup here. Saving the best for last. Literally this week and figuratively. Fucking Christ. Unbelievable. Trying to look at my, my matchup here with Kelvin, and not really being able to at the moment. I apologize. Hold on a minute. But anyway, gotta reboot the fucking computer here. But yo, peep this shit. I just found that Target today for $5. Nice little Baywatch tank. It's a large. I think it was made for the Rock size. But hey, yo, $5. Pretty fucking sweet, I thought. Fuck. This is annoying as shit. Then my computer sucks. I guess gotta get a new one soon. But what's it called? We got the Packers tomorrow night. Against the Burrs. Thursday night football. I gotta work till 9, but I'm probably gonna go swing over to the bar when I get out of work. Heading down to Alabama this weekend. Gonna watch them go beat up on Ole Miss. So that should be pretty sweet. Good to go see your team win in person. Because when I go to the Packers games, that shit doesn't happen. They're fucking over the last 6 that I've been to. So that'll be fun. Unfortunately, I'm going to be driving 6 hours back on Sunday. Not sure what time heading back yet. Hopefully I'll be able to catch some games. Maybe we'll leave after the 1 o'clock or something. Because, man, week 2 I was in Atlanta tailgating, didn't watch. Week 3, working, didn't watch. I mean, I was watching. I had the fucking Sunday ticket working on my phone, but it's not the same. Now this week, I don't want to miss another week. It's like, shit, we only get 16 of these a year. Motherfucker, let me, give my time in. But anyway, I think my computer's back up and running here. Sorry for my hapless rant. But it's just Delaney inevitable. You guys don't want to hear about me winning the week anyway with 238 points, motherfuckers. That's what my team's supposed to do. That's how we do. I don't even got the things pulled up, but that's how shit's supposed to go down. And this is all with my first round pick still not even producing good. Julio's only the 16th receiver, but meanwhile, I got number fucking 1 in Stephon Diggs. I got number fucking number fucking 3 in Tyreek. Number 4 in Fitz, number 9 in Dougie B, and number 16 in Julio. That's what my team's supposed to do. That's how they're supposed to play. Not like last week when I got the cocksucker. This is what my team's about. This is how I drafted these niggas with this type of potential. Not that I don't think Fitz is going to catch 13 balls a week, but it was good to see, see that production out the old man. Alright, we're back in action. So I quizzed all over Kelvin's fucking Burkhead, 238 to 149. Kelvin, the unfortunate recipient of the Essence Award, yet again. I believe that's now 2 times in 3 weeks he's won the Essence. Might have been the Bobo week 1, I'm not sure, but I think he got the Essence in week 1 as well. Sorry, Kelvin. You got fucked hard, bro. Beat you by like 90 points, my dude. So as I mentioned, Stephon Diggs going for 43. Dude balled out with Case Keenum. 8 for 173 and 2 touches. Dougie B 29. Tyreek 19. Julio 16. Fitz 36. Delvin Cook, my dude, putting in work, 27 points. He's the 7th overall running back right now. Carson 27, Dak 26. Still can't get a point out of a defense or a tight end. Maybe I'll figure that out one of these weeks. I've just bid $8 to get the Jags against the Jets. Nobody else even fucking bid it on them. Overthinking shit here. Also, my bench was looking pretty solid, so hopefully that's a good sign. I had DeMarco on there with 26, Joey Mixon with 12 against the Pack. Good news, he got 21 touches, 18 carries, three catches. So I'm thinking he's on the upswing, hopefully. Kenny Britt did something, 14. Teddy Ginn scored, as we should have expected against his old team. So I'm not going away yet, motherfuckers. That cocksucker shit was a fluke, I hope. But you're quizzing on your Burkhead, I hope is here to stay. We got Kelvin on the other hand. Wow. 9 points out of his quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers with 3 points. He's like, I'm just going to match my pick total with my point total. He did not look good. Derek Carr, same thing. Awful against Washington. 100 yards, a touch, 2 picks, 6 points from him. AJ Green finally busted out as all expected against the Packers. 10 for 111 with a touch. Christian McCaffrey doing big things. Through the air. 9 catches for 100 yards from a running back. Not to take away from Chris Thompson's 150 yards receiving, but McCaffrey 9 for 101, 23 points. Devontae Freeman, this dude just keeps continuing to score. Every fucking week he has a 1-yard touchdown. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns now in 3 weeks, and he's looking good. He's the number 4 running back right now. Jarvis Landry chipped in with 10. Chris Hogan with 24. That's back-to-back good games now for Hogan, so that 7th-round pick might live up. But the story, man, Marty Bennett, 4 points. This dude is just not clicking right with A-Rod or something. He's just dropping balls, fucking running wrong routes. I said it last week, and it's just unfortunate, man. The unicorn not showing out so far. Kelvin didn't have a chance against me this week anyway, looking at the final numbers, but Goff, 29 on the bench, would have been a big swing compared to those 2 quarterbacks he had in there. Giovanni Bernard had 11, but, all in all, I think your team's pretty solid, Kelvin. I think you should be about 160, 170 point a week guy, 150 to 170. But you gotta get that. You gotta get those flexes figured out and get a tight end figured out. As do I. Need to get a tight end figured out. But the AJ Green, Jarvis, Hogan, McCaffrey, Freeman. That's good base. Plus the quarterbacks should be good on a typical week. But anyway, appreciate you helping improve me to 2-1, and you fall down to 1-2, Kelvin. We'll take a quick look here at the upcoming week. Pretty upset, to be honest. Got to play Log again already. It's only a matter of time till he gets his first win, and I hope it's not this week, though. Projecting, they got me beating them right now by about 10, 194 to 184. I got Dak versus the Rams and Carson versus the 49ers. 49ers and the Rams just played last week, and we've seen what they did to each other's defenses, so hopefully my quarterbacks can do the same. He's got Russell Wilson going versus Indy, which is obviously a great matchup. Hopefully Dougie B plays, and him and Chris Carson can kind of siphon some of them points from Russ. Stafford versus Minnesota, potentially tough matchup there. We got Delvin Cook versus Detroit. I think I'm expecting 13, 14 points out of him. They got him at 17. Shady versus Atlanta. He should be able to run pretty good with them as long as they can stay in the game. CJ Anderson, 15 versus Oakland. Are they in a committee now, him and Jamal, or what the fuck's going on now? interesting because he looked great, and then all of a sudden now they don't want to give him carries. Jordy should be good, I would think, versus Chicago. He's as good a bet as anybody for a touchdown in the league. Demarius versus Oakland should be all right. Got Hooper and Sanu. I got Julio, so Ryan's distribution will be interesting. We'll see if Chris Thompson can keep it up versus the Chiefs. They got a good linebacking core, so it might be tougher for them. But this week's gonna come down to pretty much Baldwin, scoring a lot since you got Russ, and then Fitz and Palmer doing good against San Fran. I think those are the key guys to watch here in this matchup. Also Minnesota, I got Diggs and Cook, and you got Thielen. So that's gonna be an interesting matchup here. Hopefully you go to 0-4. Let's see. Got an undefeated versus a defeated matchup. George pulls Johnny this week. Projecting George right now by 1 point, 172 to 171. How do you feel about that, Johnny? They're not taking your 15-game win streak serious, apparently, ESPN. Only projecting Timmy Brody at 24 against Carolina. I know he only had 10 week 1, but I still think that this dude's as good for 30, 35 points as anybody. Cam Newton, New England's defense is the worst in the league, but I still take some cojones to roll him out there. Your running backs are a little bit shook up. Gordon and Hyde both questionable, so that's going to be important. Your receiving core, as mentioned, does not inspire much faith. But Randall Cobb coming back should help you out there. Gronk versus Carolina, I think she's still going to do Gronk type of things. George, let's see. You got Deshaun Watson versus Tennessee and Kirk Cousins versus Kansas City. Not the best matchups in my opinion there. Mike Evans versus the Giants is a tough draw. Michael Thomas should do alright versus the Dolphins. Pryor versus the Chiefs is tough. Keenan Allen versus Philly. Philly's defense, secondary is fucking thin on talent. So Keenan should have a good game. Jimmy Graham, you would hope, versus Indianapolis. Watkins versus Dallas is 50-50, if he has a good or bad game there. But I think this should be pretty tight because Johnny is 3-0, but he hasn't been putting up spectacular numbers. So this might be where George rights the ship and Johnny finally gets knocked down a peg. Next, we got a battle of the biggest biceps in the league. Zoe versus Kelvin. No offense, King, yours aren't as big as you think they are. They're projecting Zoe to win 182 to 172. Mariota versus Houston is good. Alex Smith